Natasha back again with another video. Back again, what another video. I know I said back again, but it's actually my first video. I'm probably sixth attempt of recording it. But who's counting? Welcome to my channel. Also, welcome to the first ever series of my hair journey, where I'll be sharing my experiences with natural hair. You know, the good, the bad, my ups, my downs, my struggles, my entire journey, both the physical and the emotional aspect. I hope this will not only be educational and entertaining, but I hope this will also be something helpful and inspirational for people who went through the same thing as I did. Again, welcome to the channel. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notification bell to be notified every time I post a new video. Without further ado, let's get into this video. So what better place to start than the beginning? I was born on February 20th, 2005, meaning yes, I am currently 16 years old, and my father is of mixed descent, or what we will call Spanish, and my mother is of African descent. And I was born with the average post-labor baby hair, meaning that my hair was relatively straight. I did not have much on my head to begin with, and you know, just as most average newborn babies cut. However, this only lasted at least 2 to 3 months, and by the time I was 6 months, I had a full head of healthy, dark brown, curly hair. Again, healthy, dark brown, curly hair. And my hair, again, I said it was healthy, it was thriving, it was growing. The only product being used in my hair at that point in time was petroleum jelly, and mommy kept it simple when it came to styling. It was woogies or twists or bubbles, and yeah, my hair was healthy, and the key point, it was growing. But by the time I was 1 year old, there were visible changes, but they were very subtle, meaning that you could see that the texture was changing. However, it was still growing, it was still healthy. And by the time I was entering preschool, meaning I was around 2.5, my hair took a complete 360 and went from 3A, which is a natural curlier hair texture, to 4A, 4B, which is a more dense, more coarse, with a tighter curl pattern. And reasons for this change: number one, at least these are the reasons I grew up knowing. Number one, genetics, meaning that's how I was born, that's my genes, and it just kick in a little later down. And number two, mildew. If you don't know what mildew is a predominantly Trinidadian term or phrase for bad eye or bad energy. So usually when a child is born, they have a lot of things they do to protect the child from bad energy. And yeah, it didn't protect me. Though this was a big change in texture, nothing in particular changed in my hair routine, meaning it was the same products, it was the same hairstyles. However, over time, one thing began changing, which was my attitude towards my hair, and that began changing for the negative, because I was made to feel from a very young age that my hair texture was not beautiful, or that it made me not beautiful. And me not having the texture I once had degraded me as a person, as a young lady, as a young woman. And what justified this to me was when the people around me, expression went from, "Oh God, what's that cute baby," you know, to "what happened to the girl hair," which had me thinking now that something is wrong to my hair. And it really took a toll on me emotional wise. I started to become very self-conscious, as well as very sensitive to how my hair was combed. Another change that was taking place was the rate at which my hair was growing. Remember before I said I had healthy hair, it was growing fast, it was growing. It became to a point that the growth was very stagnant, meaning there was little to no growth. The average human hair grows at a half of an inch to an inch every month. And to me, it felt like my hair was growing that half of an inch to inch every 3 months or every 4 months, which is a drastic time span compared to what is supposed to be usual. But that didn't stop mommy from styling my hair. It did not. And I had natural braid, I had cornrows, I had twists, I had bubbles, I had clip. I never really wore additive hair, only on like special occasions. For graduation, I remember I wore like a ponytail piece, and for camping, because my school was an Adventist school, so we usually had prayer retreats. And because my parents weren't with me, mommy would put my hair in like a box braid to protect it from over the time that I wasn't at home. So those were like the only times I ever wore additive hair in primary school. And at that point in time, I was feeling myself, my confidence was still there. I mean, until all the girls in my class were starting to graduate out of the ponytail and the twist and was going into more perms and weaves and hair extension and straightening, which is nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's up to your parents, but for me at that point in time, mommy wasn't doing that to my hair. And not long after, by the time I was in standard 3, I became the only girl in my class with natural short hair. And if it's one thing we know about Trinidad culture, or probably you're not from Trinidad, we like to provoke. Provoke just means to tease or to taunt people, but we really like to provoke, especially people who don't fit it, or who stands out, or who don't go with the current norm. And unfortunately, fortunately, I fell into the category of people who stood out. And it started to make school life a lot more difficult for me, because now my peers, or the children I was in school with, were recognizing where my sensitivity lies, and they were using it for their advantage. And I was called every hair related this in the book, from picky head Punky to dada head to picky head, and all these experiences took a dramatic toll on my confidence, because now it wasn't just family members or people that you're around at home. It was now in the school, and it was now children that I thought was my friends, and now it's people that I'm constantly around on a daily basis. So me, it was like everybody is now highlighting what I thought was the worst part about myself, and it became very unbearable. And these altercations didn't even go from just verbal, but it actually transitioned into physical, and yeah, I learned early on where I fit in, which was not there. And it had me struggling to find my place, to find my value, to find who I am as a person, as a young lady. And it's scary, because we know just how vicious and ruthless our culture could be. And we ignore it, because to us that is the norm. It's normal to bully for the sake of black, but it's unfair. It's unfair to the next boy. We'll point a finger at and call Kobo or pitch, you're black like pitch. It's unfair to the next girl with acne, we'll call Bobo Foot or Bobo Risha. It's unfair to the next fat child, we'll call Obzuki. It's unfair. And it's scary, because from such a young age, we already know to bring down each other. So what do you expect us to do when we grow up? From a young age, we instill in a child to not to love herself because you're black, so you're ugly. And then when she grows up, we expect her to get a husband who love her and take care of her. But how she could expect that, and she don't even love herself? How she could know what is love if she don't even love herself? However, our future is not cast in stone, and it's up to you to make a difference. So as aforementioned, my confidence started declining, and as it declined, an obsession arose. I became obsessed with hair. Correction, I became obsessed with what I thought was perfect hair. And in a weird way, me not having that made me convinced that what everybody else was saying, that I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't beautiful, that I wasn't nothing good. I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. Because what I wanted and what I thought was beauty and I thought was beautiful, I wasn't that. So once I wasn't that, that means me ain't good enough. That was my mindset at the time. And over time, it went from not only just wanting to change my hair, but wanting to change my face, wanting to change my eyes, wanting to change my complexion. I wanted to become a completely different person. And as I was about to leave primary school, my first step to changing me was to start to hold my own hair. I hated protective hairstyles. I didn't want no more cornrow, no cane row, no type of row. And my mother realizing this was like, alright, so I comb in your hair, you loosen it out. Alright. You feel me, woman? You will comb your hair for yourself. And at that point in time, I thought that was good. I was like, I'll comb my hair for myself. Ting. Little did baby Asha know that she was going to cause her hair more damage than good. And was about to start one of the most hardest, or enter the most hardest phase of her life. Secondary school.